another chapter in the beach hut saga in Felixstowe. Here, the beach hut owners are expressing a preference that if they cannot leave their huts on the prom, that they would place them on the concrete enclosures, for example, like the old World War II gun emplacements south of the prom. But the main preference is that at their own expense they will build platforms similar to the ones that the beach huts are on by the Fludgers. And here is Michael NINNMEY, who is discussing all the options with Ruth Dugdale.
Hello, young Ruth. So, let's think it's what, nearly a month, I think, since we did the very first, was it? Or was it longer than that?
I think it might have been longer, yeah.
Yes, because we were first on the scene, I think, weren't we?
You really were, yeah.
Along with Radio Suffolk.
That's right.
They did that bit, and the sound was terrible.
And it was cold.
The wind blew hard, and it was cold, and we had our clothes on and our thermals on. Yeah, it was a while back. We're now into summer. You know, the ideal time to have a beach hut.
I think so. I think so.
Now this one you borrowed, haven't you? This is
Penelope.
Isn't it lovely?
It's beautiful. She's beautiful.
Yeah.
And we think she's one of the older ones in the row.
Yeah.
You can see that she would have had a little grill here.
Yeah. Bit of ventilation. Very early air conditioning.
The actual frame of her is original and very old.
Lovely.
Loads of little details. There would have been a little window beside the door that's now been blocked up.
In the good old days you could have done that and it wouldn't have been damaged in all probability.
Well, exactly.
When Felixstowe was really the preserve of the great and the good, wasn't it? When we had prime ministers and foreign secretaries.
And royal families, the Empress of Prussia. That's when we're going back to, is that...
Because it was that was the driver, wasn't it? That sort of late 1880s odd one. The railway was here, so therefore...
Exactly. Anyway, no, it's exactly all of that.
So it's really an integral part of the history of the seaside and Felixstowe in particular. I mean, what is interesting, the very concern they currently talk about, the fact you're supposedly obstructing the prom. Well, you were here before it was, wasn't it?
Before the prom, before the pier, before the spa, before Felix Hotel.
So it's a bit odd, isn't it, that suddenly you are they should have built it round back in 1902. Anyway, let's just catch up on what's been happening. So, when last we spoke, there was, I think, an eviction notice coming, already issued, and you were to be off and out of here before the classic cars.
April the 25th was the date we had to empty our huts by.
And be gone.
And be gone.
And be gone, be gone, be gone.
Yes.
I came down on classic car day and I thought, oh, they're here. Not only that, I saw the wonderful blue plaques and lots of other stuff. And
and everything was fine. All those cars, all those visitors.
And there was a lovely bit around here because they did a bit of an Americana.
Yeah, they did.
Bit at this end of the prom.
Yeah.
It didn't seem to cause a problem. Had they wished to use the prom, they could have used it for motorbikes or similar.
They had cars down here, and it was we were all, you know, we weren't opening our huts. We absolutely respected the classic car rally, but we were side by side, and it was fantastic. Yeah, good. So you know, it works.
Okay, so legally, the last time we spoke, there was a probability of an injunction against the eviction notice on the grounds that it was pretty unfair, I would have thought. But there was also discussion on a judicial review, and I take most of this will really depend upon the action of the council itself. But what you have got, and I was, well, gratified to hear, you've had a lot of additional support since we last spoke.
Amazing support.
Yeah.
So
who have you got?
Well, I mean, the Victorian Society very early on got on board with us and said these huts are part of that Victorian seaside history that we just talked about. So the president of the Victorian Society is Griff Rhys-Jones. So he said he'd come down and look at the huts.
Oh, right.
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah. So we showed him inside some of the huts.
So we had a cup of tea.
We took him to the Alex. And he just loved it. And he was saying, this is fantastic. Why would you remove these huts? This is part of the charm. So he then came out in the media supporting us, you know, saying, come on, Felixstowe, celebrate what you have here, don't remove it. So we've had him support us. We've had Dr. Catherine Ferry,
yes,
who is the prominent, she's the prominent seaside historian in the UK.
I meant to get her book actually to get some background, but I've yet to do it. But it doesn't mean that I lost the opportunity.
Well, it's an amazing book. And the other person who came down the same day as Griff was Dr. Lee Prosser, who works for Historic Royal Palaces. And he came into these huts and he examined them for aging. And he looked at the paint, he peeled some paint back, he looked at the width of the wood, he looked at the original features. And he said at least 6 of the huts date back to 1900 or earlier. So they're Victorian. So what this meant was we could then look again at listing the huts and the site. And he's written a report to support that.
Oh, that'd be brilliant.
So, I mean, that's amazing. Because
so what do you think you get? Sort of grade 2 star, or might you even get... Anyway, we won't go there. Crack on from this. Now, there is a very important meeting, and perhaps you could share with us how many folks voted in support and contacted the District Council, East Suffolk District Council that is, requesting that this case be heard by the full council. Would you like to indicate how many people actually wrote in to support that?
So our petition has been so far signed by 4,150 people, and a lot of them have put comments about why they're signing. So that is more people than voted in the last council election. So we definitely have the support. We have a mandate to do what we're doing, and I think we've all been so thrilled at the support. Anytime you're here at the huts, people will walk past and they'll say, why are they moving these huts? What's going on? You can hear the conversation constantly. Not one person has come up and said, I'm glad you're going, or you're in the way. It's amazing, the support. So 4,150 people so far, triggered a full council meeting, and the petition asks the council to review their decision to evict the huts.
So now that's taking place this coming Wednesday.
A week today,
At 6 o'clock, did you say?
6 o'clock, yes.
Oddly, I mean, the nearest council headquarters to us is Melton, but apparently they've chosen to hold it way, way up in the far, far north, where you need a passport to get into Lowestoft. Is that right? Where I understand, Lowestoft is actually having some new huts being built. Aren't they? So it would appear you've got different attitudes, perhaps within Lowestoft Town Council and Felixstowe. I don't know. It's all rather strange.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long way for us, and what it means is that all of our group, all of our supporters, whereas they might have popped to Melton to be there, it's a lot harder. I mean, but, you know, people are going to have to take time off work, think about the petrol all that way. So, you know, it's not the most convenient. To be fair, we did say this, and we were told, well, we could swap it, but you'd have to be deferred quite a few months back.
Right, and you really want to move towards a solution, don't you?
We do, because it's hanging over all the huts. We could still be evicted within 5 days' notice. And we just want to get on with it, really.
Okay, grand. So I've been and looked at the alternatives, which is platforms on the beach. I've seen the ones at the Fledges, which is a wooden platform scheme, and I've seen the ones down south of the pier, which is making use of some Second World War defensive positions, which has got a barrier, an additional barrier up the beach that holds all that land in place. So actually either of those two solutions would do for you, wouldn't it? Yeah,
I mean, the platforms, we've actually got 2 quotes. Both of the builders have built platforms at Fledges. Both quotes come in at less than £3,000 per platform. Every beach hut owner has said they would pay for that platform themselves. So it's free for the council, it's good for Felixstowe, keeps the huts in the area. To me, that's the obvious solution, really, is the platforms.
Well, thank you very much for the update, and no doubt we can add a bit after the meeting, and we'll keep our viewers well informed.
Hopefully more than one.
But lovely, and this is a lovely little hut. I like this one.
It's beautiful.
Okay, Ruth, best of luck, and the rest, and I think what people didn't perhaps realise when they took on the 44 of you were that you were quite a small part of the 600 plus beach hut owners in the association who, up with this, will not be put.
I think I'm bigger than that. I think what they hadn't counted on was the strength of feeling in Felixstowe. Because actually it's Felixstowe we're doing this for. Felixstowe wants these huts here. Felixstowe wants to protect its heritage and history. That's why we're here.
Good. Thank you, my love. See you soon.
Thank you.
Ah, 2 more guilty of encroaching onto the prom. Will the council evict these offending huts, we wonder?